Hey, what's up? It's Soup here, and today this video is going to be a little bit different. I really just kind of want to talk about the state of Mage from my perspective and what my plans are going into 9.15 and really what I'm looking forward to testing now that with the Coven unlock, we're going to be able to actually test. So yeah, it's nothing too in depth, just an overview of, what I'm looking forward to and what my plans are. So let's get into it. Getting into the state of Mage going into 9.15. I honestly think this is an amazing time to be playing Mage because all three specs are competitive. Like, they're very competitive. So really you can kind of just play whatever you want. I do think that there are some objectively best specs for certain situations. I'm really looking forward in 9.15 to testing that out and really finding that. But as of right now, overall in raid, I would say that Arcane is probably still the best spec, just based on, the ad timers for most of the fights seem around 45 seconds for spawning. And, the ads don't live very long, so you don't have the sustained cleave with Frost, which gives you the cooldown reduction for Orb. So I think that, our Arcane's damage profile is still best for most of the bosses in raid, but since you can swap boss to boss come 9.15, that's not really going to matter. And then in keys, I still think Fire it has Dragon's Breath. I mean, that's really what it comes down to, right? I think that Fire Mage, even though Arcane and Frost have amazing damage, and Arcane has incredible defensives. I'm actually blown away by how strong Arcane is in keys defensively. But with that said, who knows? Dragon's Breath is incredibly strong, but I am looking forward to seeing if maybe Frost or Arcane are better for specific dungeons. I'm just comfortable saying that on the whole, Fire, because of the toolkit that it brings, is just the objective best Mythic Plus spec. So moving on to the specs that I'm specifically looking forward to testing. The first one is going to be Venthyr Fire, which unfortunately I don't think I'm going to have a whole lot of opportunity to test because from everything I've looked into it, you need a Pocket Priest for PI. But my understanding of how that build works is you line up Mirrors of Torment with Combustion and basically the extra Fire Blast proc you get from Mirrors of Torment with PI giving you the Fire Blast charges as well. You basically roll straight from your 2-minute combustion into a Sun King's Blessing proc. So you basically get 18 seconds of combustion every 2 minutes, which is just insane. I am looking forward to pushing keys as Fire again. I love playing Arcane. It's a lot of fun, but it does have a very rigid playstyle, which I feel like works better in raid than it works in keys. It's just a lot of things out of your control that can go wrong can have significant impacts on your damage output. And, in a coordinated group, it's not a huge deal, but, if Fire does the same or better damage and it has Dragon's Breath, I'm looking forward to pushing keys as Fire again for a little bit because it's been a while. And then I will say I am looking forward to the mobility of playing Night Fae Fire again. I do miss the mobility a little bit. I am actually looking forward to testing the Sun King Legendary as Night Fae and keys. I'm not sure because Disciplinary Command is really, really, really strong, so I'm not sure how that works, but Flame Strike procs the Combustion proc from the Legendary. So, I am looking forward to seeing if maybe you can get more frequent combustions that way, have, like one combust per pull. I don't know how consistently you're able to pull it. Plus, you don't get a lot of hot streaks when you're spamming Flame Strike, but it is something that I'm looking forward to giving a shot and seeing how it plays out. And then another kind of meme build that I'm looking forward to giving a try is Kyrian Fire with the Sun King Legendary. I haven't read this anywhere. I haven't even really looked into it on all that much detail. But my idea is if you line up like Rune and Spark with Sun King Legendary proc combusts, maybe there's something there. It could be interesting on single target. But yeah, it seems like a bit of a joke, but I am looking forward to giving it a try just because why not? And then for Frost, I have to say that I was a little disappointed at how Frost played when I finally went Venthyr in preparation for 9.1. And then I ended up swapping Kyrian anyways. But because of the change to Frozen Orb, though, being soft capped at 8 targets, so essentially uncapped, and Frozen Orb being one of the spells that contributes to Icy Veins cooldown reduction, I think that there's some potential for Frost to really pop off in keys, specifically dungeons with high trash density, when you can really make the most of that uncapped, how many targets you hit. And my idea is, I don't know how much better it might be or how much more cooldown reduction you might end up getting, But my idea is if you can get that much more, if you're pulling that big consistently, maybe you can cast Icy Veins twice in a pull just to get the extra rune buff. If you know for a fact that you're going to be able to get Icy Veins back again by the end of the pull. I don't know how much of an impact that's going to have, but it is something I'm looking forward to testing. And then after having seen the Night Fae legendary in the MDI being used by Frost Mage, I am looking forward to giving that a try, because that seems like fun. Just every time you're shifting power, dropping a nuke, essentially AoE. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to trying out Frost in like the higher density trash keys and giving that a shot. And then for Arcane, I'm planning, I kind of think, and mind you, I do need to test this, but I do think that Arcane still has a really good damage profile, Kyrian Arcane, for dungeons like Mists, because you get the absolute massive nuke on the first boss, like, and the maze, most of the trash packs are 4 to 5 targets. Pretty much most of the dungeon is 4 to 5 targets. And then Theater of Pain is another one where I think that maybe Kyrian Arcane's damage profile might be a little better. And then for Arcane, I'm also looking forward to trying out Night. Not so much Venthyr, but trying out Night Fae. I haven't ever played Arcane as any other build than the current Kyrian Resonance build, but it seems like it could be interesting. And the fact that Arcane Echo is going to be uncapped or soft capped, similar to Frozen Orb, you know, it shows some potential for AoE. And then the last thing, I just wanted to say like a quick comment on kind of the state of the game as a whole. I know that WoW has definitely been better in the past than its current iteration, and it is unfortunate, but I also have to say, and maybe this is just because I'm playing Mage, I'm still personally having a lot of fun, and I love the fact that come 915, we're going to be able to play any style of Mage that we want to play. Like I think that this is a pretty unique time to take advantage of that and really like learn, because I had never played Arcane before Kyrian Arcane. Like I had never bothered to look into the burn conserve, and I still don't fully understand it. But you know, I think one of the positive aspects of this covenant system, and you know, especially even though it's definitely a reaction to how unhappy people are with the game, that they're unlocking covenants in 915, you know, it doesn't change the fact that I've wanted to test these other things, and now we can, you know. So I still have hope, you know. I'm excited for 915. I'm excited to test all that out. I still haven't done everything I want to do in this patch and whatnot. So, you know, I'm hopeful. I'm cautiously optimistic. You know, I still think this game is pretty damn fun. And again, maybe that's because I'm playing Mage. I am really looking forward to figuring out the various ways and like the best way to play Mage for specific situations. And I hope everybody's excited for 915 and excited to see what Blizzard is going to do about the state of the game. And that is going to be it for this discussion style video. I hope everybody enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching and getting to this point in the video. As always, if you enjoyed the video or you learned something, the absolute best way to show your support, for free, by the way, is to like and subscribe. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments below, or you are more than welcome to join my Discord with the link that's right down there and ask your questions there. You can also find more information about coaching in that Discord as well. So thank you again, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.